Creator of Pantheon Armageddon. How you doing?
Good. How are you doing today, Cody?
I'm doing good, man. How long you been making comics for?
Maybe right about 2 years, 2.5 years. Whenever the pandemic started, it's when I had enough free time to jump into it.
Yeah, I think a lot of creators come out of the pandemic. You know?
Yeah, always been a fan and always reading the comics, and I got to the point during the pandemic where I felt like I read through at least all the major series I had on my list that I wanted to get knocked out. And I was sitting there thinking and thinking, man, this comic would be cool, or what if they did this with this character or this concept? And you can't just sit there thinking about it all day. You got to put pen to paper. Then you can't just sit there looking at that script and not start doodling a little bit. And then sooner or later, you get caught up in like hours and hours of your day making a comic. And then you make a second one, third one, and then you got a series going.
So you've got several books. You got four or five of them, right?
9 at the moment. Yeah, if you don't
Nine.
count collected volume.
So is it all like the same shared universe?
Exactly. You got individual series, almost mostly serving as like jumping off points for a character, like an origin story, or some of them have their own little one off stories. But then they all come together into a team or connected universe. Uh, a villain in one series might come back to be a villain for the whole team later on, or an ally might come back. Like it's all connected, but you don't necessarily have to read them all to understand everything either. Like if you just want to read the Marx series, you could just read through that, and it's still all connected and fluid.
So what's the elevator pitch of your stories?
All right, elevator pitch would
Yep.
be uh, not very complex series. To be honest, it's more like a golden age of comics with characters that feel real familiar. Just can't quite put your finger on it. Like I think I know this guy, but it not quite. It's still all original. Uh, and it just feels like you're reading those golden age comics, but brand new stories and slightly modern spin on a couple of the plots and characters.
Okay. Yeah, I was looking at your what is it, the Black Buzzard?
Yeah, that's obvious Batman homage right there.
Yeah. Um, do you draw them too?
Yes, but not. I draw and I drew them originally, but my art compared to the artist that I found was night and day. So I go with a wonderful artist named uh, Adria Aldria, and she does amazing line art.
Oh yeah. All the cover does she do all of your covers too?
Uh, a lot of the covers I outsource to different people I find on Instagram. I like to
Okay.
find independent artists to give different looks and different feels to the different covers. This way, it doesn't all look like the same generic thing. I just like reaching out and connecting to other people too, see what the different art looks like. And like you see right behind me, maybe an anime style of all the characters. I mean, I'll take any type of art. I mean, it just looks beautiful to me.
Right. Um, do you kickstart these books?
No, no, this is all self-funded.
Nice. Are you
I, I wouldn't feel right asking other people. I mean, no offense to the people who do Kickstarter. I think it's great for the people who do it. But just for me personally, just like passion projects, uh, some I don't expect to make money on. Like I even sell them for 49 cents and I run promotions on them all the time. It's not to make money. I really just want them, other people to read it and just be like, hey, this was kind of interesting, or I enjoyed this. Let me read another.
or maybe inspire someone to make their own comic?
That would be if even one person read that and be like, wow, I've never heard of this guy, but this comic was entertaining. I'd like to do that myself. That would make my day if I ever got that text.
Do Where do you sell them? Do you have a website?
A little Weebly website, but mostly I sell them on Google Play, or if someone would DM me on Instagram, I could always send them a PDF copy of whatever they wanted to read.
Okay.
Instagram, Kessler Comics Studio, and the Weebly website is weebly.kesslercomicsstudio.com.
What is Weebly? I haven't heard of that.
It's a way to make a website but not have to pay for anything.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, I'm like, since I'm not making money, I can't be pushing out money to maintain the website personally,
Yeah.
drive traffic or anything. But I threw them all out there. This way, it's an easy way. I link it on my Instagram. I have a thing that connects all your links to one, and you can either go directly to any book that you want, go to the website, go to the YouTube channel.
I was looking at your YouTube channel earlier. I like what you was doing with the narration of the stories.
Yeah, yeah, it's a lot less focused on my comics, more just focused on superheroes and comics in general on the YouTube channel. That's side passion. Love that.
Oh yeah. So are you going to any Comic Cons this year?
I'm hoping to go to one here in Greensboro when it comes around. I didn't see the exact date. I had to miss it last year because of work, but hoping to get it scheduled off this year and hit that.
Do you sell physical copies too?
No, I have physical copies, and my friends have some physical copies, but I can't hit the price margin to be selling them, and I haven't looked into the print on demand or anything
I
for
think
something to do that. But
I know a lot of people do print on demand because they don't charge you. Well, I think they charge the customer print it, then you get a percentage, and so does the printer. I mean, it's a little easier than going to a printer and paying a couple grand up front to get everything printed.
exactly. I was always scared of sitting on 100 copies of my comic. I don't mind one or two, but
Right? Yeah. Um. Oh, what um what words of inspiration would you have for new creators out there?
don't get frustrated if you feel like whatever you're doing isn't coming to fruition quick enough. If you feel like you're not making progress fast enough, or that you're not getting readers, or that you just don't feel like your story's good or your art's good or whatever, practice with anything, but especially with art related stuff. You just keep on practicing. And as long as you're improving, even slowly, 1%, you just keep on going. And as long as it's something that you like to do, love to do, because you're going to be putting so many hours into this,
Yeah.
uh, then it's going to be fulfilling. Don't do it with the expectations. Don't start a comic with the expectations of this is going to be good passive income. Uh, if you're looking to make a comic to make money, maybe you should look elsewhere. But if you just really have a passion and love for it, put it out there. Maybe you will make money. But it's really fulfilling just to have someone else read your work and be like, "Hey, this is all right." Even just that, hundreds of hours of work, just to be like, "Hey, this is all right." You're an
Mhm.
artist or a writer, that makes your life right there.
So, what is the team up book called?
That's the Pantheon,
Oh, that's the Pantheon.
name of the group. Yeah.
So, what's the name of all the characters in the Pantheon?
Got Black Buzzard as the team leader, which started off as the Batman ripoff, being completely on 100% as the Batman ripoff. But then, as I continued to write, I'm like, if this is going to keep going, I got to separate the character. He's more his own thing now. But you got Black Buzzard, you got Del Fuego, which I can find a fire guy standing in the front. He's You'd think Human Torch, but a lot more like nuclear energy, super strength, more like a Captain Atom homage.
Okay.
Got Marx, the there we go, regenerating super soldier. See, Captain America type of thing, but also technology, given that modern spin and healing factor. And lastly, you got the very top two. I was never really sure what to call them. Their names are Christian and Morgan, and the characters in the book call them angels, but there's not exactly a heaven or hell in this universe. It's more like just another dimension. Weird comic book stuff, but think of them as your Hawkman, Hawkgirl type of thing, but
Okay.
centuries old. And five come together to form that team. And if you're familiar with the Authority series, it's a little bit obscure, but the team operates much like that. Not in the beginning. They start off more like a traditional Justice League, Silver Age. There's a evil scientist or generic bad guy, go punch him in the face type of thing. Let's see a bunch of explosions. But then as it grows, it becomes more developed with the series, and not so much fighting a villain so much as the system itself.
I got you. Is each of them a single issue, like a one shot?
There are stories that work as one shots and shorts, but it's best read together. That makes sense. Like, you got the Black Buzzard issue 1 and 2. You could just read those by themselves. You got Marx 1 and 2. You could read those by themselves. Del Fuego, all the individual characters besides the angels, because, to be completely honest, not intriguing enough to earn their own little series. No spoilers, but might not stick around too long. But in general, it's best read fluidly together as one series.
Okay. So, dead or alive, who would you like to make a comic book with? The dream team.
All right, Seth MacFarlane. Going to be
Okay.
doing my art. It's going to look a little wonky, but I like it like that. Going to have Grant Morrison write the story. I want it long, complex, and good.
Mm-hmm.
And then, yeah, I think that. I don't know if I need anyone else. Maybe. No, Grant Morrison's got it.
Yeah.
He is the dream team.
Okay. What do you think about DC and what James Gunn is going to do with DC? Are you excited about that?
I'm super excited about that. I watched the recent DC animation that came out, the Crisis on Infinite Earths Part 1.
Yeah.
I heard that he's trying to connect all the animated stuff to the live action stuff, to any video game stuff. So it's fun and hard trying to stay caught up on everything as it's coming out. I'm a little worried he might be in over his head. The Authority is my favorite comic book team. When I heard he was messing with them, I hope he even makes the universe to that point. DC has not had a lot of luck, if any.
No, I think they just need to lean into more of their darker stories, because we've got, what are we going on, 10, 12 years of Marvel, and I think everybody's getting a little bit of superhero fatigue to see like Disney take over everything.
Market with that generic formula.
Right.
They could make something more, even like down to earth or realistic, the way that The Boys or Invincible have been blowing up.
Yeah. Have you watched what is it, Gen X or Gen V?
Yes, Gen V was amazing.
Yeah, that was wild.
And these are characters I'd never heard of until that series started, and they got me to care more about them than any of the Guardians of the Galaxy movies, which are great, but they all feel the same nowadays, like you just said, over the last decade.
Yeah. Have you started reading the boys comic book yet?
Oh, I've read through the whole series. Yeah, and same thing for Invincible. The
Yeah.
Invincible series is amazing. The Boys series, they should stick to the TV show. But I
Yeah.
still enjoyed it, to be honest. Everyone hates on it, but there were a bunch of moments that made me laugh. There was
Oh yeah.
just stupid humor, but I that's exactly, if you read my comics, that's I love that stupid humor.
What's your favorite comic book? Right. You're back.
Sorry about that. Someone
No.
called and it just dropped me out. There we go.
What's your favorite comic book?
The Authority series.
That's right. You told me. All right. If you could have two characters in comic books as a whole, who would you get to fight?
Hmm. I'd like to see that's a tough one because that's something I. You said you looked at the YouTube channel. That's something I do. Is I sit there and think about the what if versus.
Yeah.
Uh,
Or I got one better for you. Do you think um what's his name? What's the guy from the boys? It's like Superman? Homelander.
Homelander.
Who do you think would win, Homelander or Omni Man?
Oh, Omni Man. Homelander's strength is just not on the same level. Maybe
Omni
Omni
Man.
Man versus Superman, but which Superman? The one who sneezes away a universe, or the one who struggles in a fight against his villain? Comic consistency, you know. Uh,
Let's do Golden Age Superman.
oh, he's got it.
All right.
Wait,
Is
no,
that
that's the one who doesn't even fly. Oh, never mind. Never mind. Yeah, that's. I don't think he could do much more than pick up a bus, leap a tall building,
yeah.
run fast train. Yeah, Omni Man's got that one.
So where can everybody find you? What social medias are you on?
Instagram, and I just started a Facebook page. There's not going to be much on it, but maybe if someone's watching this video in the future, there will be. Uh, Posting a page a day on there, Kessler Comics Studio, and Kessler Comics Studio on Instagram.
And on
Kessler Comics.
and Kessler Comics on YouTube?
Kessler Comics Studio on YouTube.
No Twitter, no TikTok?
No, and if it wasn't for the comics, I probably wouldn't have what I have.
Yeah. It's hard keeping up with a bunch of different ones.
It really is. I mean, even just a post a day or something doesn't feel like that much, but it's hard to keep up with.
Is there anything you want to say before we go?
I really appreciate this interview, and anyone watching right now, please go read the comic. DM me, leave a comment, review. Let me know how it is, what you think, improvements, because tons of things I need to improve on. Compliments, anything. I appreciate it all. Criticisms.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you taking the time to come talk with me.
I appreciate this time you took too. I'll talk to you later, Cody.
What? You mean you haven't subscribed to Comicchatauthority? Oh, come on, subscribe already. What are you waiting for? It's no big deal. Like, man, don't forget to tell him to hit that like button. Yeah, that too. Just subscribe.